Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2016 Audi Q5 S-Line. It's here because it has a failed CV boot. As you can see, the boot's split open. The grease doesn't look contaminated, but most of it's thrown out. So we're going to try just to change the boot. Now, according to the service literature, it says you have to undo the upper control arm, upper ball joints. But I'm going to see if we can get it out of there without doing that. Yeah, I think we're going to give it a try. Let's get started. Right off the bat, I noticed an issue. The customer supplied me with this boot. I take it out of the box to look at it, and I can tell by looking at it that that's an inner plunge joint boot. Plus, it's way too small, so this is not the right part number. It's not going to work. So I believe I have the correct one. This is the one that I've got, Evotech, part number DX437. This looks much more like the actual boot in question, but we'll see. Let's get it apart. So you'll need a 19mm or 3/4 inch Allen socket. I found a piece of 3/4 inch hex rod from another tool because the biggest socket I had was 17. If you put a bar in between the rotor and the caliper fins, you can loosen this. It's pretty tight. We're going to look up the torque afterwards. So now we got that axle nut out. The axle shaft will just push in. We're going to move this little plastic cover here with these two 10mm plastic nuts just to give us a little bit more room around the axle shaft to get at the triple square bolts that are in there. So there are 6 triple square bolts holding the inboard tripod joint to the flange. So you can remove them with a long extension and a 1/2 inch impact gun, or 3/8 if you want. So with the axle shaft disconnected, we can push it up and to the front, towards the front of the vehicle, and turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. So that puts the brake caliper back here. We're hopefully going to push the inboard joint in and pull it out down here. Let's give that a try. Actually works better if you move the axle back towards the back rather than up towards the front there. So it comes out of there quite easily. Here's the axle shaft. So now we're going to take the CV boot clamps off and cut the boot off and take the joint apart. So cut the CV clamps and pull them off and cut the CV boot so you can get it off. Check the joint to make sure it's nice and smooth. This one's still nice and smooth. You can see the grease is not really completely dried up. If it's all full of rust and loose, or if there's any play in here, you might as well just put an axle shaft in it. So now we need to take this off. There's actually a snap ring in here inside this piece here, so I'm going to set up to take that off. I usually put this in the vise pointing down and strike it with a hammer. So I got the shaft mounted in the vise, clamped in the skinny part here. Turn this all the way that way, and then we're going to strike this with a hammer right here, right on the corner of this. Now this has got a fairly soft face, and this is really hard steel, and usually that snap ring will release. There we go. So now it just remains to take this apart and wash it and then repack it with grease. So the way to disassemble this is to put this in the vise, clamp it in there with a rag, and then turn this so that the balls come all the way up, and then take them out one at a time. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 out at the same time. As you can see, you probably can't see anything because my hand's in the way. Okay, so I got all the balls out. Now if we rotate this centerpiece, I believe I got all of them out. Yeah. We rotate this. It should come out of here. Oh, there was still one ball left in there. I was wondering why wouldn't it rotate? It comes out. You want to pay attention to the orientation of this. This has got a chamfer on the top, so that goes up. Yes, so the chamfer goes up. And I don't think it makes a difference on the second piece, but I'm going to keep it in the same orientation anyways. And this will come out of here if you turn it in the right spot as well. One of these spots is usually a little wider, allows for it to come out. Doesn't really matter, we can clean it up if it's even together like this, but it usually comes out. Oh well. I'm going to wash this up in Varsol and clean this up and put some new grease in it. So there's all the pieces clean. Look for wear in these channels where the balls run, and on this piece here as well. This thing looks pristine. Now what I did notice is that this flat side surface here goes down towards the outside of the car, and the tapered part, pointed part, this sharp edge is facing me when it's in. So this goes down, and so does this. So we're ready to reassemble this thing. So when you reassemble this, like I said, this flat surface here and this flat surface go down like so. So once this is together, and of course you can put this in any time, just line it up, turn it like so, and then start putting the balls back in one at a time. You might have to jiggle it a little bit because there's no grease in it, so sometimes it's a little stiff. Yeah. Oh, that one's rotated a bit. Let's get that ball back out of there. Well, I usually assemble these dry, but I had difficulty with this one. Put in one on this side, then one on this side, then one on this side, stagger them crossways. I put 3 across here, and then I couldn't get it to turn. It was binding, so I took it apart again and put some grease in it. So we're ready to pack it full of grease again. Now this one actually has a bolt going right through the end of it, so that bolt goes in. You know what? I'm going to inject it into the end from the other end. I'm just going to put some grease on here, but I don't want to squeeze it out. I'm going to put the remainder in from the other end. Because there's a hole in the end of the CV joint. Normally I would pack this full. So we're ready to put it back on. Wipe this surface so that it's nice and clean. And we'll put the shaft in the vise. put it upright. Now we're going to have to put the boot on it. So this kit does come with this new snap ring at this end here, but it's been my experience, leave that alone. Don't try and change that snap ring because you have to stretch the new one to get it on. This one's actually thinner anyway, so we're not going to bother with that. Here's the new boot, has the same number of louvers as the old one. Let's put this CV clamp on the boot first, and see, this one turns this way. So I'm going to leave it on in this direction. If you put it on this way, then the end of the clamp would tend to catch debris as it's rotating forward in a forward motion. So let's put that in, if it'll go over that. No. Let's put the boot on first. Why is this thing fighting me tonight? Let's put this clamp on here, see if we can get this on. Sometimes these CV boot clamps are the wrong size for the joint. Now this goes down to the first rib. Yeah, this boot clamp is a little bit small, but I think it'll go once we get it down there. Yeah, it's small. And it's already out to the end of its travel. Oh well, I can see if I got another universal clamp. Well, I finally got the CV boot on with a universal clamp down here, and the other clamp fits okay. Again, facing this way because this one turns clockwise looking at it from the outside. I use the bolt to hammer this on, tap it on, and I'm going to inject the grease in through the end of the boot, or the end of the shaft. I use the special crimping pliers here. Make sure the CV boot clamp is on the center of the boot, and squeeze. And I'm going to inject the rest of the grease into the end of this shaft through the hole in there. Now we're ready to reinstall the boot or the CV joint in the vehicle. So there's the CV shaft reinstalled. If you put it in this way, then it goes in quite easily. So drop it down and pull it towards the steering shaft to get it out. It's actually quite easy to take out without undoing this. They wanted you to undo this, which is going to be a shit show, unfortunately. So I'm looking up the torque for the spline nuts or spline bolts. Triple square bolts back there, probably about 40 foot-pounds, and the torque procedure for this axle bolt. So the torque on this axle nut, or axle bolt here I should say, is 200 Newton meters plus 180 degrees. So I'm going to use I got a bolt in here, so I'm not relying on this bolt, this little 6 mil bolt, or it's probably 8, because I don't have a helper here to hold the foot on the brake. And I'm going to tighten this to 200 Newton meters. I'll convert that to foot-pounds. So 200 Newton meters, 147.5 foot-pounds. So I've torqued it to that, holding it with a bar against the caliper here. And now I've marked it. I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. I got another mark here, so when that mark comes around, it's torqued to spec. You need a pretty significant bar on that thing to torque that. So it's tightened 180 degrees, and we're ready to reassemble that plastic shield, put the wheel back on.